Welcome back. Thank you for staying. Let's get into the news now, and in our first story. More Burkinabes are trooping into Ghana to seek refuge following attacks on their communities by insurgent groups. Last week, hundreds of them arrived in the Pusiga district of the Upper East region. Now, their presence is raising security, health, and even food security concerns in that part of the Upper East region, where some of them are reconnecting with their kinsmen in Ghana. Correspondent Albert Sori reports.
Sad, dejected, and looking very exhausted. These are people from Nkrumah, a community somewhere in the south of Burkina Faso. They are here in Ghana at the Yarga No. 2 community in Pusiga in the Upper East region seeking refuge. They say a few weeks ago, their community was attacked by armed men believed to be members of an insurgent militant group. At least 5 people were killed and the rest of them had to run for their lives. Although it is not clear which armed militant group attacked the community, Osmani Sebgo, one of the refugees, calls them Boko Haram.
We were there at Nkrumah. These Boko Haram people came there and told us that they want us to leave the place. We thought they were joking. For some number of days they came back, and when they came, they succeeded killing about 5 people in our presence, slaughtered them. And when they did that, it now tells us that everybody should run away. So we have to run away. We escaped from Nkrumah in our community, and we went to Sanga. And when we went to Sanga, we got to Sanga and realized that that place too is not safe because they are coming there threatening the people that they will kill them. So we have nothing to do than to escape to Ghana, where some of our relatives are. So when we came to Yarga No. 2, then we came and met our people, and they gave us a place to stay.
Some of the refugees arrived 2 weeks ago, and others followed later. An estimated 1,500 of them are currently in various parts of the Pusiga district. A lot of them are women and children, even toddlers as young as 8 months old.
As we are here, we didn't come with anything. And we are here, the people are helping us, and we are also helping ourselves small, and that's how we live. Nobody comes here to support us. Our people, even that we left there, we don't even know what is happening there. We want food for our children and ourselves. And look at the small children that are here, no school.
At the Yarga No. 2 community, where many of the refugees first arrived, the Ghanaians here are finding it difficult to give them shelter, let alone food. Here is the chief of the community.
With your small family, at least 10 people in the family, and about 40 or 50 people come to add you, how are you going to feed them? Even you with your 10 people, it gets to some time that you have to buy and add. And now another people have come to join you. How are you going to manage it? So as for the food situation, it's an issue to them.
Some of the refugees have kinsmen resident here at Yarga No. 2 and other parts of Pusiga. So it is more like tracing their roots back home. Therefore, the Ghanaians feel they must find a way to accommodate them. One of the men providing shelter for these refugees is Issa Zakari, who says he accommodates 12 of them in this small room.
It's our people, and they migrated and they came. And because of that, this house, for instance, is much that as you move from this house to my new house and then leave this one for the refugees to also settle. This room has been accommodated 12 people, and this other room too is accommodating 11 people there, and then this other room too is also accommodating about 14 people there. They normally sleep here. After sleeping, then they will go outside and struggle and see whether they also get food, their daily bread, and support themselves. Because we, the landlords, we cannot support them 100% because for now our food self is not sufficient for my family members.
This old woman is one of the refugees being sheltered in Zachary's home.
It's our auntie. She's too old. She's about 120 years. When it happens to the children, have no any place to go with her, so they have to move with her and also come to the family house. So we have nothing to do than to also collect her and accommodate her.
The community members of Yarga number 2 are worried that the influx of these refugees could have serious health implications because this dilapidated building here is what serves as a CHIPS center. There are no health officials stationed here. At the time of our visit, there was no known record of a health screening exercise for the refugees. In other places such as Pulmakum, Zong Natinga, and Wedana, all in the Pusiga district, hundreds of refugees could be seen. The Ghanaians in these parts are mainly peasant farmers, some of whom have had to give out their lands to those of the refugees who are their relatives.
Now it is a 76-kilometer road successive governments have promised to fix, yet none of them have lived up to expectation. That stretch is in a deplorable condition, replete with potholes and gullies. In today's edition of Ghana's Potholes exhibition, Upper West correspondent Rafiq Salam tells the story of the Han Tumu Road.
The Wahan Tumu Road project for over 30 years has been on the budget of every government that has ruled this country. All governments in the Fourth Republic have cut short for at least a portion of the road to be constructed. The irony, however, is that none has been able to complete the 142 kilometers road. Joseph Canton started using the road at a tender age some 70 years ago, attended Laura Middle Boarding.
I attended Laura Middle Boarding. That was from 1961 to 65, and I used the road a lot. If anybody told me that as of today this road is going to be in this deplorable state, I will say it's a mirage. Because Kasajan was one of the best person, one of the first contractors who went on this road. And what happened? You know, since then, they have been scraping the road. And I think that thing even contributed to the nature, the way this road is now.
This was the very road that my father used some 60 years ago to go and dowry my mother at Walambele. 60 years on, the road is even in a much deplorable state. The question that the people are asking, when will this road project be completed? Construction of the road project began 2 decades ago at the one end of the road by Usua Ghana Limited and later awarded on piecemeal to Lebanese-based Ghanaian contractor P&W Ghanem Limited. At least the latter has graded, re-gravelled, fixed broken culverts and tarred over 50 kilometers of the road with bitumen. 76 kilometers of the road project is now left to be fixed and is now an albatross hanging on the neck of the government. It is bumpy, deplorable, and replete with corrugation. The west part of the road is located between Hen and Ndowala and is filled with numerous manholes and gullies. You can see that the videos are shaky. That clearly means that the road is just not good. We are moving from one pothole to the other, meandering through some of them, the ones that we could dodge. And that's exactly what is happening. And that's why the videos are really shaking. We're uncomfortable, even sitting at the back of the pickup. You can see that the vehicles are coming and they are now avoiding the road and they are now using the shoulders of the road to come into the main road because the road is such in a deplorable state. And so even vehicles as Land Cruisers, Prados and whatever cannot even ply that route. How much do you talk about rickety vehicles? I can count as many as 13 gullies right here on this road. So let's start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 on this stretch of the road, which is about 20 meters right here on this road. Passengers and also drivers are not having it easy to ply the route, and they are appealing to the government to come to the aid of the people.
Myself, you have to go and change your absorber very often because the road, the nature of the road is very difficult. Well, I'm using a pickup, but it is still very tough on the car. So we are appealing to the government that whatsoever they have to do to make sure that these roads are done, because this area, Sisala East and West, is a good hub for cereals, soya, maize, and millet. And we have to transport the item to the city centers to help cushion prices. And because of that, prices are escalating.
You see how, the colonial government was looking at this. And usually, they used to, the postcards used to be on this road. And they will make sure that the mills will get back to all the places. Why is it that today, even if our postal system is even failing, but at least this road should have been in a better order than now.
Now, the Minister of Education says Ghana is setting a standard for the phase of STEM education globally. Speaking at the launch of STEM Novation Competition 2023, Minister of Education Dr. Yao Osei Educhum revealed his ministry was committed to ensuring that STEM education was implemented duly in all schools across the country. Here's Jacqueline Ansumayabwe's report.
Government introduced the STEM Novation Competition in 2022 as a means of fostering the creative potential of senior high school students and those enrolled in technical, vocational and education training. At the launch of the 2023 edition of the competition, Education Minister Dr. Yao Osei Educhum said Ghana is setting a standard for the phase of the STEM education globally with regards to infrastructure and innovations.
It's not the case. Ghana has done something that has attracted the attention of the world. Everywhere you go, they say, Ghana, we want to come and see. We want to come and see your STEM innovation that you are bringing into your country. People visit my office, they see the projects we've done, and they say, is this really Ghana? And I said, I believe in evidence-based communication. From kindergarten, all the way through primary schools, innovation is happening. We are changing the face of public education once and for all. By the facilities that have been provided and even the way they dress. See the children dress up starting from primary 6 all the way to high school, and you begin to see that this country is on the transformation track. Next academic year, when you go to a town like Jabe in the Ashanti region, you see that 10 of their old junior high schools are going to be closed forever. Maybe one day pulled down, demolished, so that I can move all the schools to a new learning environment, the new 21st century junior high school environment. Then you will know that change has come to Ghana and change has come to stay.
He also revealed that the existing schools are being retooled and renovated to suit the current STEM requirement.
Across this country, there is a move towards changing the way we teach and learn in existing schools, and also ensuring that new schools are built. So new junior high schools that are STEM focused are under construction. We also have fund resources to actually rehabilitate existing schools and sometimes demolish and build new ones. I know the media sometimes give us a lead, and we take advantage of it. A number of schools that we are going to be building within the next 2 months will be schools that were told about by the media, and we are rebuilding them. We are building new facilities for them. So on a whole, I think Ghana is making every effort not to lose out on the fourth industrial revolution. The first industrial revolution was the steam engine. The second was electricity. The third was about computers. Now the fourth is about the merger of electronics and physical. So that is why you're able to open your house using your eyes. So things are shifting. The artificial intelligence is bringing about different innovation. If we lose out we will not be able to catch up with the rest of the world, then we can't afford to lose out.
STEM policy advisor Professor Mark Adom Asamoah revealed that Ghana is currently at 12% of STEM initiatives, with stakeholders working to ensure the country reaches the required 60%.
So there is a science and technology innovation policy, which says that 60% of all our products at the tertiary level should be science and the other 40 should be humanities. Since 2011, the national percentage has been at 12%. It went to 13% in 2016, and then it came back down to 12.1% currently. What we have to do is to increase what we call the STEM pipeline, what goes through from one end to the other. With regards to the STEM pipeline, we need to look at the whole education spectrum. We need to look at from kindergarten, we need to look at primary, junior high school, and senior high school. In terms of the STEM areas, we have created special pathways. These pathways are taking the students to be able to work in robotics, in engineering science, in manufacturing, in biomedical science, and the rest. And we are hoping that with this introduction, and also by trying to encourage those in the senior high schools, we will be able to increase the numbers.
Urban gardening, efficient use of electricity, and clean water are the three themes for the STEM Innovation Competition in 2023. And these will address issues in Ghana and beyond. For Joy News, Jacqueline Ansuma Yeboah.
Let's head now to the Tano North municipality, where the Director of Education, Nana Ekokwansa, says government alone cannot meet the needs of the educational sector without input from individuals and organizations. His remarks follow a donation of more than 1,000 textbooks from a philanthropist to improve learning in the municipality. Precious Semevo has more.
Tano North Municipal Education Directorate in the Hafo region. The government has supplied most of the new textbooks needed for basic level students, but the deficit, according to Gordon Badi Bangna, a teacher, businessman, and an NDC loyalist, needs to be provided for classes 1 to 6, especially for schools without textbooks. In his attempt to complement the government's effort towards the education of children in the municipality, Mr. Badi Bangna has donated approved textbooks worth over 47,000 cedis to the Education Directorate through the Tano North National Democratic Congress office.
As a professional teacher, I have identified the deficit in the provision of textbooks within the municipal, and by way of my contribution, I decided to provide textbooks not to the higher level, but at the foundation level to complement what government is providing, especially to schools that don't have at all. And that is why we are going down to the very foundation, basic level. We are talking about 1,020 copies, costing 47,400 Ghana cedis.
Mr. Badi Bangna expects teachers in the beneficiary schools to make good use of the books to benefit the students.
As the Education Directorate have taken it and to also distribute it, I'm appealing to colleague teachers to use the books judiciously, to use the books as expected. They should understand that it hasn't been easy coming by this, and so whosoever that have the opportunity to hold this book, let us use it with the commitment that it deserves, so that our children can derive the full benefit, the reason for which this gesture was done.
Tano North Municipal Education Director Nana Eko Kwanza, after receiving the textbooks, appreciated the gesture and noted that their maintenance will be his priority. He, however, appealed to stakeholders to support the government to ensure quality education for future leaders.
Government has provided almost all the textbooks on all the subjects. It's left with one or two, which we are waiting. So I'm very happy that we have taken delivery of the textbook this morning to promote effective teaching and learning, which will eventually translate to learning outcomes in our schools. Government is doing its bit, and other individuals have also seen the need to complement the effort of government. And as I keep on saying, financing education in Ghana is like a baobab tree. No one person's hand can encompass it unless you do that. So at this point in time, I'm appealing to the other individuals, other philanthropists, other organizations to emulate the gesture that Mr. Gordon has done.
Precious Semevo, Joy News, Duankwanta.
Let's talk health. Now, turkey berries are said to contain many valuable nutrients, hence their use in traditional medicine. But many people are still uncertain about the cooking duration ideal for retaining the maximum amount of nutrients. Well, researchers at Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology have some answers in this report.
Berry, or the devil's fig, locally known as kwansusua, is used in many cuisines worldwide. In Ghana, light soup and cocoyam leaf stew are never complete without it. Turkey berry is replete with a number of minerals and vitamins. However, since it's mostly consumed cooked, many have had concerns about the cooking duration, essential for retaining its nutritional prowess. We'll be engaging a graduate student from the Department of Food Science and Technology, Jemima Usu-Asante, who has been looking at the effect of boiling on turkey berry. She has also been looking at the nutrients in the fruits vis-a-vis the leaves.
I decided to do this because kwansusua is known that kwansusua is very nutritious, but I wanted to do a scientific research to prove a lot of things. One, to see the effect of boiling on the nutrients of the two plants. You know, people usually boil it for about 20 minutes, then they use it for soup and boil it for a very long time, maybe 2 to 3 hours. And when you do that, most of the nutrients too will be lost. So we did it for just 10 minutes to see if still the nutrients will be available. For the fruits, we saw that boiling had an effect on the Solanum turbum boiled leaves. We saw that boiling reduced the moisture. So if you want it to last long on the shelf, what you can do is to boil it for about 10 minutes and then you repackage it and put it in the freezer, and it can be there for a very long time. Looking at the mineral composition too, we saw that it contains iron, especially the leaves contain very high iron. People with anemia can also take the leaves together with the berries to improve their iron levels.
Bulletins. But that's it for the news on the AM show. Stay with us. The news review is up next.